Ruto men splash cash to mock Kenyan poor. Even as the political elite continue their philanthropy, in quotes, Kenyans are demanding accountability and end to insensitive display of opulence. Remember, opulence is among the government show of opulence, or show of opulence by senior government officials. It was one of the complaints by Gen Zs last year. Lakini kama washasahau hiyo, saa kila siku inaitwa economic empowerment. Tunakuja angalia vile mama kina mama hapa wanakimbilia the deputy president. Wanasema he is mocking Kenyan poor. Na kama people daily ni kama siku hizi wanakanyanga shingo proper. They're the new standard. So that's a big story there, and let me just take a look at what the story talks about hapa ndani. Wanasema, in a country choking under heavy taxation, civil servants face delayed salaries and ballooning public debt. Such displays of opulence have triggered rage and resistance. Empty tummies, billion-shilling displays fueling Kenya's outrage. That's a big story there, and they call it impunity. Moses Kuria's resignation leaves tongues wagging. Kuna watu wengi sana wana doubt his intention. And I think one of the cartoons has made mention of that, to be looking. Wanasema, mbona to trust you jamaa? What are your intentions, Moses Kuria?
But critics ask whether Ruto's advisor's departure signals genuine political independence or move to further divide Mount Kenya.
Yes, genuineness. Their questioning is genuineness.
All right.
Why president's Nyota jobs remain mere pipe dreams, another story there on the Newsbeat page 5. And how to avoid camera shyness when making videos. Kila mtu anataka kuwa content creator lakini ana blush peke yake. Na ni wewe tu peke yako na simu yako.
Wewe acha wewe.
Unaweka selfie hivi una blush ya simu. So that story is on page 17 of the People Daily. Let's move on to Taifa Leo.
Taifa Leo ni kufa kivyake. Rais William Ruto juzi aliagiza polisi kuwapiga risasi miguuni wanaodhubutu kuvamia vituo vya polisi. Amri yake ilifuatia ile ya awali ya waziri wa usalama wa ndani Kipchumba Murkomen aliyekumbusha polisi kuwa silaha zao si mapambo tu. Na alisema nadhani bunduki ni mandazi.
Alisema sio mandazi.
Na jana mwenyekiti wa kamati ya bunge kuhusu usalama Nelson Koech kwa msisitizo, na alikuwa na hasira kushinda ile ya rais. Alisema polisi hawapasi kulenga mguu pekee bali kuua wanaozua fujo. Kinaya ni kwamba huku amri hizo zikitolewa, Constable Clinzy Barasa alijikunyata na kunyua kizimbani, machozi yake mdondoka haya. Hatima yake ikiwa mikononi mwa koti. Hii ni kufuatia mauaji ya mchuzi Boniface Kariuki Juni tarehe 25.
Na ikumbushe tu kwamba Boniface Kariuki will be buried today in Murang'a, even as now this main suspect who's now being charged for his murder. Analia.
Analia nini?
Na unakumbuka anatoa machozi. Unakumbuka CS for Interior alisema hata ikibidi tuwape lawyers tutawapea. Wapi lawyer alikuwa wapi jana?
Unaona kupekea yule mwenzake aliachiliwa.
Huyo aliachiliwa.
Alipewa amri ya kufiatulia risasi waandamanaji, na sasa askari Barasa yumo kizimbani pekee akisubiri hukumu yake. Ndio huyu hapa alifiatua hiyo risasi kwa mchuuzi Boniface Kariuki, na aliingia huko kotini akiwa amevaa hiyo mask. You know,
initially he had been charged with causing grievous bodily harm. But now after Boniface Kariuki passed on, after 12 days in ICU, the charge changed, and it did so officially yesterday. Now it's murder.
All right. Vidokezo zaidi, gavana aomba msamaha. Ni gavana wa Isiolo Abdi Guyo ameomba radhi mahasimu wake wa kisiasa na MCAs. Kadhi mkuu wa ombolezo kote nchini ni Sheikh Abdullahi Athman Hussein alifariki Alhamisi akiwa na umri wa miaka 55. On the top strip, vita baridi katika upinzani, mvutano unatokota kichini chini miongoni mwa vinara wa upinzani. Wameanza mpema. Na masuala ya spoti, PSG yaelekeza mtutu wake kwa Chelsea. Walikuwa risasi moto wakifyatua Real Madrid magoli 4-0 Jumatano. Taifa Leo.
The final is this Sunday, and it will be live right here on TV47. All right, kutoka kwa Taifa Leo twende Business Daily. Na huyu jamaa wa PNG leo anatuchanganya. Farms use 50 billion shillings tax refunds to pay KRA amid cash crunch. 57.62% of claims tapped to offset corporate income taxes. report shows significant rise from last financial year. So watu wanaambia KRA, sasa si you owe us refunds. Si ujilipe sasa. We have no money to pay you, but you owe us money.
Yeah.
Pay yourself. Team to probe Alliance sex abuse reports, and this is a very interesting story about one of Kenya's top schools. And we have here protesters, former students of Alliance Girls High School, who staged a demo yesterday to protest alleged sexual abuse by a male teacher. The Parents Teachers Association, PTA, said a committee, including representatives of a teachers' union, the Ministry of Education, and the alumni, had launched an investigation into the matter. Kumbe wanasema, according to them, that it's been happening for a while. Wasichana wanakuwa tu groomed for years, and it's one particular teacher. Wewe unapeleka mtoto wako shule ile, unajua ameenda ile bush, inaitwa bush.
Bush.
Alafu kumbe kule ndani kuna
Nani see you patron?
Fisi amevalia ngozi ya kondoo. On the ticker, small distillers spared factory upgrades. Another one, park fees to rise as KWS seeks to plug 12 billion shilling gap. 12, okay. And Kenya to repay 68 billion shilling foreign debt this month. Deni inazidi kuongezeka. That's the Business Daily.
The Standard in the dock alone. Choices and consequences. President William Ruto ordered police to shoot and maim rioters. Earlier, Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen had boasted that he would stand by any officer accused of manhandling protesters, even if the charge was murder. He declared he was a lawyer and would defend them to the end. But when Clinzy Masinde sat in the dock, accused of shooting an unarmed hawker, there was no president or minister. He covered his tear-streaked face, overwhelmed by the gravity of the charges. The world he once knew was gone, and in that crushing moment, he was utterly alone. We're reminded of that photo here on the 25th. Was it on the 25th? The 25th of June. I don't think it was on the 25th.
21st, I think.
21st. That photo of the 21st of June. When
this was during the demos, just the death of Albert Ojwang. Yes.
This story has been covered on page 4 and 5. They say the DPP has changed the charge against the officer who shot a hawker. They say Senior Principal Magistrate Ben Mark uttered the words that would change Clinzy Baraza Masinde's life. You will face murder charges. The police officer lowered his head and cried.
Now it's when it's hitting him, the consequences of his actions. Wanasema choices and consequences. Alafu CS anakuja anasema, I will provide lawyers. Wewe fanyeni what you have to do. Mimi, even if it's murder, we'll bring lawyers. Where were the lawyers yesterday? Utabeba mzigo wako wewe mwenyewe.
Wewe mwenyewe. Eric Mukoya, Executive Director of Internal Commission of Juries, says the development that has happened in the courtroom should be a wake-up call for our police officers. They should know that in law, there are 3 levels of accountability.
You remember the cops that were caught ile mada ya Albert Ojwang? The OCS?
Yes. And
another cop, ule anaitwa Muhwana. Hata wajapewa lawyer.
Kuna wale walitoka, lawyers wao waliwacha.
Were they provided by the state?
Walikuwa wao. Court nullifies IEBC gazettement. The High Court has overturned President Ruto's gazettement of the IEBC chair and 6 commissioners for defying an interim court order, with the judges stating that their directions must not be treated as mere suggestions. Yes,
a development on that is that by midnight, there was already a special gazette notice out of re-gazettement of the IEBC. So they are already gazetted. The court will nullify the initial gazettement. Wakasema hiyo, it was not correct. But immediately they did that. A special gazette notice was out and they've been officially gazetted again. Meaning that now they can be sworn in and IEBC can start its job.
And the Inside Pages report alarm as more newborns contract HIV from breastfeeding. Supreme Court dismisses appeal by defunct NHIF. And the Supreme Court has dismissed an appeal by NHIF Management Board and upheld the Court of Appeal's decisions that the SRC has final advice on remuneration and benefits. Over 350,000 tourists expected as annual wild beast crossing starts. Cleansy Baraza yuko hapa peke yake on page 4 and 5.
In the dock alone.
Alone. How police locked up a boy nursing bullet wounds in cells for 2 days.
Now ni wengine watajipata kotini tu. Because if something happened to the young man, whoever put him in the cell with a bullet wound, watajipata tu kotini alone.
Why majority of Kenyans don't trust the police anymore? That story is on page 8.
Do you trust them?
You should never. Apana jaribu.
All right, on the back page, we have the Stars coach Benny McCarthy putting faith in his Chan-bound squad. Remember, August is very fast approaching. Alafu hii news ya Club World Cup. PSG versus Chelsea in Club World Cup final, which will be showing live on TV 47. All right, from the Standard to the Star. Maswala ya siasa. Big push for Raila's 2027 presidential challenge. And logic, they ask, opposition race without him would all but hand president a smooth ride. Is this an analysis? Do you think he's still a relevant presidential candidate going forward?
He could be.
He could be? Well, the jury's out there. But at least the Weekend Star, you can read more on this on pages 4 and 5. Raila, could he be thinking of running for president again come 2027?
He's still young.
Well,
80,
President Museveni is running for
the 6th time.
In 2026, next year. So why not? Why not? Cop in mask vendors shooting to face murder charge on Historia Cleansy, Barasa Masinde. And I think we should just go with the headline here, go front page of the Standard. In the dock alone. Yes. Kusema tu kukukumbusha, sio sisi ni hapa kwa Standard wamesema. In the dock alone, every police officer should actually see this. Yes. Siambo au kuambiwa. In the dock alone. Senators want number of chief officers capped to end overhiring by counties. That's another story there. AG wants graft cases concluded in just 1 year. Paleju, remember, because this is a Weekend Star, it comes with some, the siasa pullout. Shoot to maim, they ask, Mr. President, that's not leadership, it's tyranny. That's an analysis on the inside pages. Matters politics, intrigues as Matiang'i cancels tour of Mount Kenya at last minute. And you've seen different angles questioning the unity of the opposition.
The Star.
This is the Star, but I think it's also on the front page of the Daily Nation.
Okay.
So, fresh, independent, different. This is a Weekend Star. Ukiwa na shilingi 60, you can grab yourself a copy.
Daily Nation, IEBC's 2027 test starts. Judges uphold head of state's nomination of 7 commissioners, ask him to regularize appointments. The High Court yesterday quashed President William Ruto's Gazette notices appointing the IEBC chairman and 6 commissioners, but at the same time cleared the way for him to gazette them afresh after throwing out all petitions against the poll teams. This now paves the way for the new electoral officials to take office and get down to the hard work of preparing for the next general election.
So sasa ukisikia status is about to go live, just know it will be the swearing in of the IEBC commissioners.
And the nominee for the chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is right here on the front page, that is Erastus Edung Ethekon. The High Court judges said to uphold the rule of law and legitimacy of the IEBC to the people of Kenya, and illegality cannot be the foundation of legitimacy. A full in tray. Conduct 22 pending by-elections. There have been vacancies in some wards and constituencies after the deaths of some MCAs and MPs, nullification of election results, and appointments to the cabinet. There is 1 vacancy in the Senate, 6 for MPs, and 15 for MCAs. Register new voters, a mass registration of voters as well as a cleanup of the voter register must be conducted ahead of the polls. Article 89 of the Constitution states that IEBC shall review the names and boundaries of constituencies at intervals of not less than 8 years, not more than 12 years. The last review was done in 2012. The timelines for delimitation of boundaries lapsed in March 2024, so boundary delimitation.
And this one, I think a few days ago, ilisemekana kwamba he could end up nullifying election results if they do not conduct the delimitation of boundaries. So it's a dicey situation. I don't know if they have time for that.
The fourth, conduct continuous voter education. The commission is expected to enhance public awareness of electoral processes ahead of the general elections. Sasa hata Wakenya wameanza kujifunza wenyewe. Procure election materials and new voter registration software and systems are needed ahead of the elections. As the IEBC says, the ones used in previous elections have reached the end of their expected industry support life cycle. But remember, before Moses Kuria resigned, aliandika pale kwa social media, there will be no election in 2027. Other stories here: silent wars rock the opposition over its flag bearer. Beneath the surface of publicized unity, disputes in the opposition coalition now threaten to derail plans for a joint presidential flag bearer in 2027. The team has at least 6 political outfits, including former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's Democracy for the Citizens Party, Kalonzo Musyoka's Wiper People's Liberation Party of Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa's Democratic Action Party, the Democratic Party under Justin Muturi, and Jubilee of former President Uhuru Kenyatta, represented by National Chairman Torome Saitoti and former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. Mr. Gachagua has however dismissed talk of cracks and vowed to ensure President Ruto loses the 2027 vote. Chief Kadhi leaves behind a rich legacy of humility and selflessness. And matters athletics, Wanyonyi eyeing something special in star-studded race. The world will be treated to a thrilling spectacle in athletics tonight when Olympics 800 meters champion Emmanuel Wanyonyi launches what promises to be his own push for a world record. On the back page, McCarthy, I'm here to succeed with Kenya. And Kenya will co-host 2024 African Nations Champions with Uganda and Tanzania from August 2nd to August 30. That's the Daily Nation.
Right, from the Daily Nation, tuangazie Karakacha. Hapa tunaona the former deputy president amepanda ndege na ameelekea